Crypto mains, so you finally open up the season 16 patch notes and you find that Crypto's drone has the ability to be redirected, similar to Newcastle and Vantage's abilities. However, there's no other buffs or changes. Would you be happy about this? If you are happy about this buff, then let me tell you why this may not be a good idea in the current state of Apex Legends. So I'm sure you've seen posts on Reddit, YouTube or Twitter in regards to the drone follow mode or a redirect option. However, there are four main factors as to why this may not be a good idea, but although it is a decent idea that I would like to encourage Respawn to add for Crypto, it just doesn't simply work in this current state. So the first factor would be the drone's HP. So currently it is at 50 HP. It was at 60 at one point, but that was after the season 12 quote unquote crypto buff or crypto rework that happened. I'm not sure if it was necessary, but I see it as Respawn's way to sort of balance the changes at the time. However, this just made it easier to shoot down, and it is unfortunate for crypto players as it also is behind a 40-second cooldown, which is my next factor. So within those 40 seconds, there is a lack of scans, lack of abilities, therefore we have to rely on our raw aiming skills as well as our movement abilities and the heavily reliance on our teammates as well. But at the moment, fights can take seconds to finish, therefore having no abilities within that time frame just can deter people from playing Crypto. For me anyways, I like to keep my drone holstered, and when I actually need to use it for scans, EMP, to look at banners or to scan the survey beacon, that is when I actually use it. It just reduces the risk of having to wait a few seconds or even more when it could be the difference that I need. The next two factors would be the drone sound distance and the drone itself. I believe they kind of go together. However, I'd just like to separate them just to talk about them briefly. For the sound distance, I believe that there is a audible range. I'm not sure the exact values, but it is quite large, where enemies can hear the drone being flown around, being recalled, or if it's just being stationary. It just makes it easier for enemy teams to track a certain location of the Crypto team. Therefore, you essentially lose the element of surprise that you want to bring when fighting a team. And having the drone out, whether it's just following you or having it a certain distance around you, just means that it is easier to find out where you are. From the enemy's point of view, you kind of look like a Sims character, how you have that green icon above your head, allowing people to know where you are. But I do believe that it is kind of a weak factor due to you needing to have your drone out to do certain things such as scan, but this is kind of a slight disadvantage that we currently have at the moment if we allow a drone follow mode or redirect option. So if you combine these four main factors together, it sort of creates a situation where the enemies can hear the drone because of the certain amount of meters they're in, which means that they could sort of eliminate certain areas of a POI or a choke point or a certain location where people can be, and they can go through the process of elimination within the POI to find the enemy Crypto team. And once they've seen the drone, if it's just being redirected to a straight line or if it's just stationary, it will just be easier to shoot down. And once it's shot down, Crypto can no longer use his abilities because it's behind a 40-second cooldown. Now, don't get me wrong, the ability to have a drone follow mode or a drone redirect would be a very good idea, but however, out of the four main factors, I'd probably say the HP and the cooldown would be the two essential factors that we need to consider and also need to be reworked if we want this idea to follow through, but they do need to be tweaked before we talk about having the idea into this game. Whenever a drone follow mode gets suggested on my stream, I kind of sort of promote the idea of having the drone to be indestructible, because a way to tackle the cooldown and HP, although we can up the values of the HP as well as lower the values of cooldown, it essentially does not fix anything. But having an indestructible drone would change the meta, would change Crypto's pick rate, and just change the overall style in which Crypto players play at the moment. Although it is an absurd idea, I believe that is really the only way to fix and sort of promote having a drone follow mode. However, that's how ideas form as well as develop over time to create a conclusion on what we call a Crypto buff. On the other hand, I do wish for Crypto to have a few changes, but for Season 16, I don't believe he will receive any buffs or any nerfs. All we can hope for is bug fixes. That's about it really. I believe Crypto's time has gone, as he's had his in season 12. Nevertheless, if you agree or disagree with any of the points that I've made, please put them in the comment section below. And this is the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.